Hey guys, Explorer 1. Just a very quick public service announcement, something that I wanted to bring to your attention. A lot of people discussed this article that came out. Let's take a look here. This was on the 21st of September. Just this year, Salon.com, which is a very sort of liberal magazine slash website that probably focuses more on younger generation, younger people, stuff like that, people that are into entertainment, things that are quote unquote cool, pop culture, stuff like that. So they wrote, this person Todd Nickerson did an essay on September 21st, as though it were like a first person essay. It was fictional, if I'm not mistaken, but he wrote the essay from the perspective of a pedophile and trying to normalize pedophilia by explaining that although he's a pedophile, and again, this is just an essay, it wasn't like he wasn't making some sort of confession. It was just a fictional essay that he wrote, but the point was to normalize or explain how pedophiles are not monsters, they're just sort of misunderstood, and you shouldn't judge them. It's not their fault. It's just a sort of really creepy thing to read if you if you have the stomach for it. I mean, he goes on to discuss his first moment where he realized that he was attracted to children. It was a 7-year-old girl. I mean, it's difficult to read this, and so then a lot of this. Many people covered when it came out on or around the 21st of September that they're sort of, now pushing the normalization of pedophilia in the sort of entertainment realm. So then on the 30th of September, there was then a follow-up where he goes on to explain that, his essay about being a pedophile got all this attention, and the majority of the attention was very positive. So they're really trying to sow this seed of normalization and that it's accepted. And not to get on a whole political rant, but it's kind of like the Washington Redskins, people being supposedly offended because of the political correctness aspect of, well, Indians think that it's offensive to have a sports team called a Redskin. And so they used that sort of mentality and they just exploded it in the media. And the average person would think, wow, everybody's offended about this. Maybe I should be offended too. But when they actually did real polling, and real research, they determined that very few, if anybody, was actually truly offended. But they made the change anyways because they're using the media as well as social media to engineer people's opinions and to change people's minds, and it's sort of disturbing. And up until this point, it had been sort of things that were upsetting, but now they're actually trying to engineer public perception of pedophiles. Okay, so I mean that's where we're at with this. So it's pretty crazy. So a lot of people thought this was maybe a one-time thing. Some of us saw that this, would probably start spreading, and I guess we were right, because sure enough, yesterday they put out another article. Now the other two were written by this Todd person, and now this is a separate article written by this Deborah So person, purportedly. And this entire article goes on to say, there was this pedophile who had never touched a child, but he did try to make plans to meet up with the child in a chat room, although it wasn't really a child, it was an undercover police officer, and he went to jail for that. And it's just terrible because we didn't get a chance to help him, and it's it's disgusting to read this. Like, it's awful. So I just wanted to bring this to your attention, like I said, as a sort of public service announcement just to show you that it did not end in September with this push for pedophilia. Now, will it spread to other outlets? I would guess so. I would guess so. I mean, they do this stuff in small drips over time until it's a flood of water coming at you and everything is normalized and accepted. And then it's the opposite. Instead of being offended at pedophilia, you're now offended if you don't accept pedophilia. So crazy times that we are living in. So I just want to bring this to your attention. I'll link it below. God bless.